I'd like to welcome everybody to the national tournament here. We're happy to have you here at Lebanon. And I hope you enjoyed the tournament. I hope you brought your best game with you. Everybody's playing well. Wish you all luck. This tournament honors Hugh Burton. He's a long-time master player here in Tennessee and throughout the nation. He is the person who gave me my start back in the 60s, way over in West Tennessee. I think he played in his first national tournament in 1956 in Galveston, Texas. And his first round opponent was Earl Ingram. I don't know if any of you know him. He was a very strong player back then. And Hugh won that game, or won that round, that first round against Earl Ingram in his first tournament. And he got everybody's attention and really got his career started in checkers at that time. I've played with him. I've known him, I guess, way back in the early 60s. He has been a friend and a strong checker player, and remained a strong checker player, and continues to be, I suppose, but he hasn't played actively in a couple of years. I would like to thank him for all those years he gave to me as a mentor and a strong player, giving me encouragement, giving me everything I needed to become at least a decent checker.
Think of anyone who is more, has earned our praise than Hugh Burton. He's been a part of my life, and a major part of my life since I was just a little kid. I'll never forget the first time that I met him. I liked him then, and I like him now.
Thank you.
And I can say this, no man has ever had a better friend than I have when I made a friend of Hugh Burton. He has done checkers an honor, and he's done all of us an honor by playing in the game and being all of our friends. I don't need to stand up here today and tell you all of the things that he's done, all of the things he's accomplished, even though he's done some things that I'm sure that will never be broken. You know, we can remember when the Tennessee State Checker Tournament was the largest tournament in the United States. And Hugh Burton set a record in that tournament that I'm sure will never be broken. And that's just one of many honors that probably you've already mentioned. But let me say this. I like checkers. I like to play checkers. But I like checker players even better than I like the game. And at the top of my list of checker players is Hugh Burton. One last thing that I'd like to say. Not only have I made a friend of Hugh Burton, but his wife and his daughter are here. And, you know, their friendship came right along with his. And I like y'all just like I like him. God bless you.
And it's nice that a guy can be a good player, but when he's a good guy, that's even better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe a couple of other fellows or men as want to, you might have a word or two you'd like to say in reference to Mr. Burton. If you do, stand up and say your thing.
Yeah, I'd like to say something. Mr. Burton's one of the nicest fellows I've ever known. He's kind to everybody. He's a good checker player. He's supported checkers throughout this country. And we just can't say enough good things about him and his family. And I just want to say to you, sir, I appreciate you. Thank you.
I first met Mr. Burton in 1963. I was in college in McKenzie, Tennessee, working at the City Hall. And a group of strong players would meet there every Wednesday, and he was the best of the group. They had a very strong group of players who met, and I became interested in playing. I had played some when I was young, but I became interested in playing because I was impressed with him. He would win every time. They would have a kind of a round robin match every Wednesday. He would win it every time, and I became interested in playing. And then within a year or two, I gotten pretty good, and I finally beat him a game, and he was really shocked. He has really been the biggest influence in my checker playing my whole life. He is some kind of a checker player, and when he was at his best, he was unbeaten. He was unbeatable here in Tennessee.
I just want to wish Hugh Burton the best of everything. He is a wonderful person, a wonderful friend, a terrific checker player. I got to know him once I got into the checker world with Frank, and he is a terrific guy. And I want to wish him and Peggy both all the best.
Not only is he a tremendous checker player, he is a tremendous man also. He's got wonderful character. He's got friends from around the world that he's played checkers with over the years. And Hugh, of course, is in bad health right now, but he's probably the finest checker player that Tennessee has ever had up to this point, because he's won the Tennessee State Tournament 30-odd years in a row when he was playing. So it'll be hard to ever match the record that he's got here in Tennessee.
He was a friend of yours.
Oh, yes.
What do you enjoy about his friendship?
Just the way that he talks and presents himself. He just presents himself as a man that anyone would just love to be able to get to know.
Mr. Burton, I found out then he was a mighty good player, and he's won the Tennessee Championship 38 times, and I don't think there's any doubt about who probably is the best Tennessee checker player that in my period of time. And he is not only is a good player, he's a real nice gentleman, and my association with him has been real good, and I'm proud that I'm considered one of his friends. And I just wish he could get to playing again. I'd like to. I couldn't beat him, but you know, I never have beaten him, and if he don't play, I never will get to beat him. But I probably couldn't beat him anyway. But I do wish he could start playing again. But I don't have anything except something nice to say about Hugh Burton, because he's a swell person and a real good checker player and a good friend of mine. Mr. Burton, would you like to say a few words?
Well, I will, but if you let me sit down, I'll appreciate it.
Do what you'd like to do, Mr. Burton.
I've had 4 back surgeries, and I've had 1 hip surgery, and I don't know how many other things that I have had, but I'll tell you one thing. My checker friends are my best friends. And of course I have lots of friends, but checker friends here today with such gratitude on my heart for the honor which you have chosen to bestow upon me. It is I who should thank you for the many years of wonderful friendship as we have pursued with zeal the wonderful game of checkers. Throughout the many years of being involved with the terrific and challenging games, many of us have come to know each other very well and respect each other, each other's abilities, and love of the great game of checkers. You are a part of my extended family, and I treasure your friendship. My family, as well as I, have enlarged their circle of friends, and I have looked forward to each and every tournament. I especially look forward to each and every tournament in the future. And I expect to stay in checkers as long as I live. As long as I am able, I will come to checker tournaments as long as I am able to walk. And I love every one of you, and I feel like there'll be a place up in heaven when we all get there where we can play checkers again. I just really believe that. I really believe that.
He's dedicated his life to checkers. He's helped a lot of players, contributed to the game extensively, and we talked about who we were going to honor this year. We've honored some players that are not with us any longer, and it's nice to honor a player that's devoted his life to checkers that's still with us, and just a fitting honor to have an honoree like Mr. Burton this year for the three-move national tournament for the American Checker Federation.
Okay. You've known Mr. Burton for a few years now.
Yes, in fact, before I ever met him, he used to coach back when Anthony Bishop and I was in college. He was Anthony's mentor, and they've been friends all their life. And it was nice at the beginning of the tournament that Anthony came forward and talked about his longtime friend, Mr. Burton. And I know he's meant a lot to Anthony, and they've been good friends for many years. And Mr. Burton's just a nice part of the checker fraternity, and it was nice to have him and his wife and family here this week.
So what kind of person is Hugh Burton?
Business-wise, I guess he had a exterminating business, Anthony told me, a Terminex. First-class gentleman, never a bad word about anybody, just a real good guy for a number of years. I know he was the players representative for the American Checker Federation, which represents basically the master players and all players, but primarily the masters. Just a real super good person.
Well, it sounds like we made a good choice this year.
Excellent.
I knew Hugh from the West Tennessee tournament, and I attended that several years. And before the tournament, he impressed me by telling me how you should tie your tournament or your checker events to whatever your town is doing. He would always tie that back to the Strawberry Festival and the Chamber of Commerce and the Merchant Association and several of the businesses would support his checker. That's why he was able to raise so much cash for his cash prize in his tournament. And I thought that was pretty impressive. He shared a lot about checkers and how to promote checkers.
First time I met and played with Hugh Burton in 1998. It was my first three moves tournament where I tied for the second, fourth place with Hugh Burton, and I had better honor points, and I secured second place and he was third place. And after then I met with him and played many times before he retired several years ago. He used to be, in my eyes and according to my own classification, obviously grandmaster. He was several times among top 3 players, and every time when I played with him, I had a chance to score a win only if I did something very special. If it wasn't very special, his knowledge, his memory, and his crossoboard skills were enough to get an easy draw. That's one part only, small part about Hugh Burton as a checker player. So he was a strong master in his prime career for many years and decades, and he played with people. I think his first tournament was 1952 or something like this. So half century ago. This is tremendous. He played with Tinsley, he played with Hellman, Lafferty, he played in 70s. So and this is old guardian, what I call, and he is probably one of the last Mohicans who is still with us, but unfortunately he is inactive today. But there is another, the biggest part of personality of Hugh Burton. It's his commitment to checkers and people. For many, many years, I don't know if you ever mentioned or you know, he used to be ACF player representative. And this is one of the most responsible officer position in American Checkers Federation. We have president who is in general responsible for everything. We have secretary, treasurer, but ACF player representative is most troubling because is player representative. So he communicated with people. He participated in creating ACF bylaws and making life important decisions for federation for many, many decades. There were 4 people in ACF executive committee, and he had 25% vote on this. That's another thing. And third thing, that he always open to people. He always open to community. So that's a third thing. And he's a great promoter anyway, even today when he's an active player. But I'm playing every year and highly enjoy West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. And usually they have a very good money prices and a lot of local sponsors. This is mainly his tournament. He created and he continued to support it. We always play in the bank, and bank always donate some money. And most of we always have door prizes in this tournament. So Hugh Burton and checker, it's synonyms. When we are talking about checkers, we should know who is Hugh Burton, and talking about him, it's same as checkers. It's part of his life. It's part of his heart. For me, as an immigrant, I just learned American way to live from Hugh, and that way means commitment to people, community, to everything. That's what I can say about Hugh.
I've been knowing Hugh Burton for a long time. He lives close to Jackson, Tennessee, and I live close to Columbia, Tennessee. So with all the records, he's one of the greatest checker players ever been in the state of Tennessee. So I wish him luck, and I have enjoyed very much knowing him. So long for now.
This is Hugh and Peggy Burton. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We're at your tournament, Hugh.
Yes, sir. You better believe it. I mean, it's been a good one so far.
It has. We've had some great competition. You've been playing checkers in Tennessee for quite a while, I understand.
That's right.
How'd you get started?
Got started at a country store out near where I lived, and they had some good players. And I thought they was real good until I got to playing more, and found out that I could win with them, but I had to play for a while before I did. And I had one guy that he was the best player out there, and every time I would play him, 9 times out of 10, I would come out, and win. And he got to where he wouldn't play. I said, "Now come on, Hugh. This guy, this Burton guy, has beat everybody in here. Come on, you play him." He was the best player. His name was Brian Stanley. He said, "No," says, "I'm not going to play that damn boy no more." That's just when I had got started and really enjoyed it. I played checkers at night at this country store many nights.
Okay.
That's where we did our courting. He picked me up, and instead of going to a movie or something, we went to play checkers. And I was so excited because I got to be with him, but I never learned to play checkers. Just one in the family is better.
I might have to try that trick sometime, see if it works twice.
There you go.
Yes.
So, when did you start playing tournaments?
My first national tournament was in Galveston, Texas in 1956. And in that tournament, Hellman and Tinsley both were there. I got to meet them, and that thrilled me. And Tinsley, in talking to me, said that he didn't have any trouble with Hellman, but he didn't want to brag. And but that's just was truth. And the first round of that tournament, didn't anyone know me? And I played Earl Ingram, who was one of the outstanding players of that era. He was really a good problem man too, and I won my first round at the national tournament, and thrilled me to death.
Good. I understand that you have a record here in Tennessee, something like 39 championships?
Yes.
Does that sound about right?
I won the state championship 39 times, but at least 10 times I didn't play. 8 or 10, the guys around my hometown didn't want me to play, and they wanted a chance to try to win it, and I did that for several years. I'd say 8 or 10 years.
Okay. What has checkers meant to you personally?
Personally, it has been really good for my life. Everyone needs a hobby. You find the ones that don't have a hobby, that checkers is my hobby. You find the ones that don't have a hobby are not content, and they resort to things they shouldn't do, such as drinking or running around and staying out late and all that kind of stuff. And it's been good for my life. I will say that it really has.
Are there
And for hours too. The children were thrilled to death when they heard Dad was going on the checker tournament because they knew that we were going on a trip.
You get a vacation out of
Well,
it.
they called it a checker vacation. When are we going on a checker vacation?
I get it. Are there any checker stories that stand out to you?
Well, I don't know of any particular ones. There's been some funny things that's happened, but I don't really remember.
Tell the one from Brownsville when you started playing over there and they didn't know you could play.
Oh, it's just
That
like
was-
it was at the country store, about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been good for my life. I would advise anyone, especially young people, that cultivates their mind. Checkers and chess both are good to bring your mind, and it's just like getting weeds out of a garden. It's just good for your mind.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here and for the many decades you put into this game. We hope we can see you here for many tournaments to come.
I'm gonna live to be 100.
Well, you better come back and play then.
I will.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.